Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting a very fun series. I am testing all of the various drugstore makeup brands that we have available in South Africa. Starting off with one of the probably lesser known brands. Today we are doing a full face of Passion Pro Cosmetics. I haven't used this brand before. I tried to get everything that I could. They don't have color correctors and things like that, but they do have a decent range of your normal makeup products. So that is what we are going to be testing today. I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup. As you can see, I'm busy getting ready to go out. We are going to start with their hydrating primer. They have a matte primer, and this is the Dewy Pore Minimizing Face Primer with hyaluronic acid. I also couldn't find a brow gel, but I'm not going to lie, this primer has worked quite nicely to shape my brows. Next up, we're going to go in with their concealer. This is their total coverage concealer, medium coverage concealer. So let's see how much coverage this gives. I tried to do the best I could with the shades they had. They don't have a wide shade range in the Diskim that I went to. It's spread, but it doesn't have a lot of shades. So you have your darker shades, you have your lighter shades. This is one of the lighter concealers that they had in stock. There was one lighter, but I thought that would be a bit much to go in with. While that's going to dry down a little bit, I want to start with my eyeshadow. First off, I know they came out with some new small eyeshadow palettes recently that they have been advertising, but this is their Passion Pro Color Squad Intense Pigment Shadow. I like the colors. I had to go for the more colorful look. I don't want to do just a boring look, but there is quite a pretty, I'll just show you the shades. There is quite a pretty brown in there as well. I'm going to start off with, so these are all shimmery shades, so they're probably not going to give a lot of pigment off the bat, because the shimmery shades tend to work better if you use your finger to just warm up the shadows a bit. But that works perfectly for me, because then I can choose how intense I want it when I want it. So I'm first going to go in with this pink shadow over here. This is quite hard pressed, so there's not a lot of fallout in the pan, which is lovely. So as you can see, it's very, very light. You can see the color coming through there, but it's very, very light, as expected with the pigments. If you want it more intense, better would be to use your finger. So just for the shade, let me just show you. I warm it up with my fingers and then tap that on. It does give a bit more pigment. You'll see. There we go. There's the pigment coming through. So I'm also not wearing an eyeshadow base, which also doesn't really do the shadows justice. But it is an absolutely beautiful shimmer. Just kind of all over the eye on this pink one. And if you do want to diffuse it a bit, it's easy to just go back in with a brush and just diffuse the edges. And spread that out a bit. Okay. Then I'm going to go in with this darker pink shade. You see, the minute you use your finger to warm it up, it brings out that shimmer. So I'm using my finger on this darker pink shade, just all over the lid, create some depth. Usually I don't do my eyeshadow first. I do my eyeshadow after I've done my foundation or my base products. However, if I am testing a new eyeshadow or a new product on the eyes, I prefer doing my base afterwards, because you don't always know how it's going to turn out. You don't know if there's going to be a lot of fallout, how easily it's going to blend, and if it's going to ruin your makeup. So I prefer doing my eyes when it's a new shadow. I don't know if you can see in this light, but it's got a bit of a purple pink shift this dark pink that I've got all over the lid, which is absolutely, absolutely beautiful. I do think the colors in here are stunning. You need to do a bit of a colorful look. You don't always have to be all nude. Okay, they have a darker pink in here as well, but I actually think just for the fun, I'm going to mix it up a bit, and I'm going to go in with this lilac on the top here to put a bit of extra color in my eyes. I'm going to do that on the inner portion here. Ooh, that is gorgeous. It is quite light in front of my window right now. But don't look at the creasing, because that's just my eyes. My eyelids are very thin and they crease very easily. So that's the nice thing about this as well. It's a very creamy shadow. So I just stuck my nail in and I didn't actually ruin the entire freaking eyeshadow palette. I'm just going to blend that a bit. Eyeshadow brush I'm using is from P. Louise. It's part of their Teddy collection that I got in one of their budget boxes. I do like their eyeshadow brushes. They're very, very nice. We just did a quick, easy eyeshadow look. Now, back to the concealer. I'm just going to put a bit of extra so I can clean up here. I am struggling at the moment with the concealers because my eyes are getting more and more fine lines as I'm heading into 40. Tap that in and see if we need any more later. It's not the creasing of concealers that concern me, honestly, because makeup is going to crease. I've got a very expressive face. So if I smile, if I do this, it's going to crease. If I put too much on, it's going to crease. So that doesn't really bother me as much. But what does frustrate me is every concealer I've tried seems to be too dry. It just highlights the dryness under my eyes. Now, this is not just Passion Pro. This is, as a general rule, I am struggling with concealers at the moment. I cannot for the life of me find a foundation brush or a clean beauty blender. Lord knows where I've put them. I've recently reorganized, so we'll see. Then I got their Stay Matte mattifying foundation as well that we're going to be using today. So I can't find a brush for a blender, so sorry for those that don't like seeing this. I'm using my hands. So again, I forgot, this is why I needed the brush or the beauty blender, because when I was tasting this in store, I did see that it was quite a thick foundation, and because I couldn't find my exact shade, I definitely need to shear this out, but we'll make it work. I've got some bronzers and things that we can use. Oh, there goes my eyebrows. They are gone. Yeah, so it definitely doesn't apply well with the hands. Very, very patchy with the hands. Hold on, I need to find a beauty blender to do this. Found a beauty blender. Let's see if it works better. It is stained, but it's not giving off color. So that should work. Oh yeah. It's already much, much, much better with the beauty blender. Definitely a little bit yellow for me. You can very clearly see that. But I knew that this wasn't my shade, so that's fine. We can work with that. That took quite a bit of work to get it even out, and it's still a little bit patchy. So at this point in time, I'm not a fan of the foundation. It didn't apply well with the hands or with the damp beauty blender. But at this point in time, I'm not a big fan of the foundation. The Stay Matte mattifying liquid foundation. Very thick, hard to blend, turned out quite patchy. Eyeshadows, so far, love. Okay, next we have got bronzer. Cute little 2-pan bronzer here. Start with the lightest shade and just see how that. I'm going to use a fluffy brush. I didn't quite think this through. I should have powdered first, but it is what it is. if the bronzer doesn't perform quite as nicely as I would have liked, this is definitely user error, not the product itself. I did not set my face with powder first. So going on with the powder on top of the liquid product is never a good idea. You always guarantee to get patchy spots. I'm just using the lightest bronzer and slowly trying building that up. And definitely build it up. So maybe if I go in with a slightly darker shade now, probably mixing the two would work too. Okay, so that gives you a bit more of a pop of that bronzer. I do like this bronzer actually. Like I think it could be a nice bronzer contour palette, because, well, for my skin tone anyway, because it is, the bottom shade is a bit grayer than the top shade, so this could be a nice contour bronzer palette. Despite the fact that I'm putting this over the foundation, it is actually a beautiful bronzer. So far, thoroughly impressed with the powder products. And the concealer. It looks a bit dry, but it's not too bad. Then I've got their Fashion Pro Cheeky Time Blush. I just thought the packaging was so cute. Cheeky Time. This is a cream blush. Let's see how the blush performs. Takes a bit of work. Ooh, okay. Very pigmented. Did not expect that. Ooh, okay. I am, ooh, that is very, very pigmented. Very, very, very pigmented. Just using a stippling brush just to blend that out a bit better. I like the color. I'm liking these deeper berries on me at the moment. That's better. Use these edges a bit. Okay, better, much better. Then I also have their highlighter palette. I took this peachy and gold bronze shade on them, so I'm going to go in with this peachy highlighter. Okay, so that I think is going to be white, so let's see how that looks. Oh, that's actually quite blindy. I may have put a bit much on. Okay, it is what it is. Next, we're going to go in with the Glow Getter Hydrating Setting Spray. We'll see how this works over the matte foundation. I like the cheeks. You can't see that while you're on camera, but I do like the way that the cheeks came out and the eyes. Okay, no, it's a nice fine mist. A strong mist. Breathe that in, but fine. It's probably a bit much. But let's see if I get some moisture back into the skin. While we're at it, I'm just going to use my little towel in the foundation out of my brows. Now I am going in with the mascara. So they have quite a few different mascaras. I'm always looking for some volume. So I've got the Fashion Pro Lash Queen Super Volume Mascara, bold brush for a fuller look. Let's see what this brush looks like. Okay, so that's what the brush looks like. It's a very big brush. Like, it almost covers my entire eye. I immediately touch the side of my face. Very careful not to let the brush touch somewhere else, because it is a very big brush. Okay, so this is what it looks like with one coat of mascara. I'm going to wait for that to dry, comb it through, and then I'll put on another coat. So far, the brush is very big, but other than that, a pretty good impression for the first time, for the first coat. It's not bad. Now I am going to go in with the compact powder. So the compact powder, they again didn't have a lot of shades in this. It's not really, they didn't really have a true translucent. It's definitely a colored powder. And I'm assuming you can use it as a powder foundation potentially. So we'll see how the compact powder works to set the face. It is picking it up very easily on the brush without fallout. So I'm just going to tap that in with my big fluffy brush. I do struggle with dryness in my under eyes, and that means that I avoid setting my under eyes. I would rather deal with the creases or the products moving around a bit rather than needing to try and get rid of extremely dry under eyes. Not too pigmented. I'm going to go in with another layer of setting spray. The setting spray does have a slight scent to it, but it's not bad. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, it does actually say on there, never mind. With aloe vera and cucumber scent. I did think it smelled very fresh. Let's see how it layers on top of each other. First impressions, looks like it layers quite well. Oh, that looks beautiful. It looks like I've got false lashes. I have no idea if this is waterproof. Dropped it. I don't think it's waterproof. I like this type of formula. It's not too wet, but it's also not too dry. Now we're going to go in with lips. It's a Hydro Hero Vitamin E Coffee Seed Oil, Sweet Almond, and Shea Butter. Hoping that this is going to help bring some life back into my lips. I went for a very neutral shade, kind of everyday look. I didn't see lip liners at the discount that I was at. They did have a wide variety of liquid lipsticks as well. I say a wide variety, they had multiple finishes. So they had a matte finish, they had a slightly more glossy finish. I didn't find a color that I liked. Most of the colors were either, if you're looking for a concealer lip, so it's your very, very light beiges or a brown, and it wasn't like a deep, nice, rich brown, so I didn't like that shade. And then the other liquid lipsticks were vibrant purple and neon pink, which is a vibe, not gonna lie, but not what I was looking for this tasting video. I have a lot of liquid lipsticks that are some interesting colors, that are a bit more of a pop of color, but I do tend to lean more towards colorful eyes rather than extreme lips, unless I'm doing a full-on festival look or similar. I just decided to go for their Hydro Hero. Even in this, they do have quite a range of colors. I had to search a bit to find a neutral shade, so let's see. Okay. It feels a little bit waxy. You need to warm it up a bit to get it to spread nicely. It goes on beautifully, as you can see. Not patchy or anything like that. Do need to warm it up a bit. I don't think it's helping that it's in the middle of winter. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful color, and I think it goes quite nicely with my look tonight. Then the eyeliner doesn't really go with my look whatsoever. They do have various other eyeliners. They have a lot of eyeliners. They have your normal pencil liners. I went for a liquid liner because I saw the color and I absolutely loved it. And it's this goldy bronze. I end up transferring my eyeliner onto the upper parts of my eye. Like I said, it is one of the less expensive makeup brands. Just to test this properly, I am going to put mascara on my bottom lashes. Of course, very careful, massive one. Don't have a lot of lashes. I think is the star of the show is the lip gloss. I took one look at their lip glosses, saw this one, and absolutely had to take it. It is this beautiful, shimmery gold. And when I swatched it on my hand, it looked like such perfect shimmer. Let's try this on our lips. I can't see it that well on camera, but it's definitely picking up the gold flakes. Oh, there we go. Indeed. Right. That is what we came up for with our full face of Passion Pro makeup tonight. Hits and misses. I would say the eyeshadows, great. All of their powder products, honestly. The eyeshadow, the bronzer, the highlighter, loved. Concealer, I can take or leave. For the price, I mean, I think it was 60 Rand. It's doable. It's nice to start out with, to play around with. It doesn't cover that much of my older dark circles, but it is nice. Love the mascara. Gloss, I love it. I like the gold. Very pigmented, worth it. I think this was 40 Rand. Anyway, so Tiki Time cream blush, absolutely in love with that. Honestly, the primer and the setting spray, I'll say take it or leave it. There's good primers from Essence and Catrice for the same price range, which I think perform better than these ones. So if you do buy them, they'll work. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't love them. I would say the only absolute fail for me of this video, and I'm a bit disappointed, is the mattifying foundation. Didn't love at all. It's very, very patchy. Even now, still, even after the powder, it's very patchy. You can see most of my pigmentation and everything showing through like in patches over time. Not a fan of that. I'd say skip it. Take your extra 50 and go and buy your Silky Blur from Essence. And that is it for today, guys. I hope you had a great day. Here's the full look using only Passion Pro Cosmetics products. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if there's any other brand that you want me to try.